see how you feel. Now, let me just adjust my camera, Amy. And you'll let me know if you can see me totally or not.
Yep, looks good.
We're good. Okay. So I'm going to start off by doing basic squats. Now, how you line up your alignment is you look down, make sure your ankles, your knees to the inside of your pelvic bone. These high pelvic bones here, they're called the iliac crest. You place your hands to the inside, and that's the width you want to be. Because oftentimes women do this when you ask them to go hips width apart. No, nobody's a linebacker, right? So here we go. We're going to sit back into a chair. I'm going to bring the arms out to work the front delt. Now I work the posterior delt and tricep when I go backwards. So inhale, exhale. Now I'm sitting back into my heels. So Amy, this is number 4. I need 25 out of you while I talk. So I'm pushing up from the heels.
Can you also turn sideways so we can see that as well?
I will. I will.
All right, great.
Yeah, I will. I just want to talk a little bit, and I promise I will. So I'm sitting back into a chair, and I'm doing a pelvic tuck at the top, and my toes are lifted. Let me try something.
So that was 10.
Yep. Now I'm going to go to the side, and same thing. There's that tuck, right? Because that's a back extension. We're in an extension movement when we do that. So we engage the gluteals, the quadriceps, and the back muscles because they're all extensors. Make sense? We want to keep the head and chest up. So we're getting posterior delt, anterior delt, and also tricep when I bring the arm back. Inhale, exhale.
5 more.
Thank you. Tucking under. This is my 4th time doing this today. And forward and exhale.
And last one.
And exhale.
Excellent.
Good.
Very good form.
Good deal. That's what we want.
Yeah.
I will also turn to the side for this as well.
Yeah, and you can move up a little bit closer to the camera and we'll still be able to see you. A little bit more and we'll still be able to see you. Excellent. Okay, great.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. So now we're going to do an exercise called a deadlift, also functional. I'm going to turn on a diagonal here for you, all right? So it's not the squat. It's now bending the knees and hinging from your hip joint. Here's the hip joint, by the way. So I'm sliding the fingers down, and then I'm pushing forward. Now, if you have osteoporosis, it is imperative that you hold off on this exercise, whether it be weighted or not, to get the approval from the medical healthcare practitioner that knows your body best. If you have spinal stenosis, any kind of bulging or herniated discs. You understand where I'm going with this? So we want to be particularly careful of the spine in this movement. And it's the exhale up, pelvic tuck, inhale down. Now you can move your hands 1 inch, and I'm going to demonstrate that in the second round. You don't have to go below your knees. But what is a have to is that the knees are bent. Makes sense?
Right.
Where are we at, Amy?
That was 15, 16.
Thank you. Now I'm going to turn forward. That's 17. And continue. And, I can't hold anything in my hands, Amy, so that's that.
5 more. That's right. There's no excuse.
No excuse, baby. I aired out my weighted vest earlier.
2 more.
2 more coming up. Toes are lifted.
Last one.
In the heels. Thank you. Are we okay?
Beautiful.
Good.
And this is right, because that thing on your arm could be an excuse, but it's not. You can still do things.
They had to reel me in, man. They had to immobilize my thumb. They were like, "We don't trust you. We're gonna go."
That's right.
And I was like, smart thinking. All right, now I have a bench here, like an old-fashioned step unit, right? Like an old step Reebok type thing. So I'm gonna put one foot on here and I'm gonna kind of shimmy the opposite leg back. And all I'm gonna do is bring my hands on my thigh and I'm gonna bend the back knee. Now watch, I'm gonna push off that back foot to come up because I wanna recruit the gluteal muscle. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Great. And on this one, Amy, you're gonna count to 20. And it's definitely balance is incorporated. Now you don't have to use a step, and I'm gonna demonstrate that the second time out. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. And man, woo, mama, it's right in there. And you know, I hate to put it like this, but I will. As we do get older, particularly the women, we lose the power and source and the energy that is coming from the gluteal area because it really serves us on so many
Five
exercises.
more.
Thank you. So this is a way to fire up that thing by pushing up. My back heel is super high off the floor. The foot is not flat.
And last one. Very nice.
Now we're going to take it to the other
You
side.
didn't tell me that our butts were going to be higher after this.
I hope so. That's a good one, Amy. I like that. No one ever said that to me. Oh my God, I like that. Okay, so because I'm not looking in the camera, right? I want to make sure that this knee, the bent knee in the front, that is working that other leg, I want to make sure that that knee is not going out beyond my toes. How's my alignment, Amy?
Perfect.
Okay. Inhale down, exhale up. And you might find that one side likes this better than the other. It's called a split squat. Also basically a lunge without going forward and back. But having that step, it adds a little bit more challenge.
5 more.
Thank you. It adds a little more challenge to the exercise itself. And I'm feeling the Miami heat, baby. And
that was the last one. Very good.
Great. Now.
Ooh, that was a good one. Good burn.
Still feeling good? All
yeah.
right. So now.
Gina says hi.
Who says hi? Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, thank you for coming. So now I'm going to grab my chair. I have my equipment set up like a mise en scène, yes? And this is for my tush. Now, for the moment, I'm just going to put my exercise loop on. I'm not going to stay there. I'm just putting it on, setting up the chair, and then I'm going to move closer to the camera. The loop goes directly underneath the knees. Now, Amy, we want to steer clear of the patella, the kneecap. We want to steer clear of it. So it's underneath. Now, I'm going to pull forward a bit. And now, Amy.
Yes.
I don't know about 25. Got it? All right. I'm not sure about this one. So the feet are wide apart.
Should I do 20? You want me to do 20?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might have to peter out before that. It's okay. Now, that's one of the things I want to tell people is that technically your exercise regime consists of 8 to 15 repetitions in a set. I'm just trying to charge a little bit more for the endurance because of the wrist stuff. So now the toes are turned out in the same line as each other. It's not a dancer full turnout. All right. So I'm going to squat and lower the arms. So inhale, exhale up. There's that pelvic tuck. And let me tell you something, that exercise loop adds a lot more resistance. Inhale, exhale. So now I focus on the medial head of the deltoid with the arms. Notice I'm not dropping the arms all the way down. That's going to target the middle head of the delt. As I sit back, and there's the glute, the thighs, and the back to help lift me. And where are we at, Amy?
The next one is 10.
Okay. I'm going to try 5 more. How's that?
Wow.
Thank you, Amy. And we're getting the quads, we're getting the adductor muscles of the inner thighs.
And
We're
one
getting
more.
thighs.
And
And
that's the
yes,
last one.
now
And you were lifting a weight on one arm too with your cast.
for the cast. The cast is actually about 3/4 of a pound.
And but you feel that when you extend your arms out like that, you really even that
Know
low
that
of the weight, you'll feel it.
exactly. And you know that I had them weigh it. I had them weigh it, so I knew how to distribute the weight. I'm not kidding. So I'm not taking this off yet. Now I want to strengthen the shins. So you need me a little more forward?
Yes, as much. Yep.
I'm going to do something here.
And that's good exercise too, just walking around, waddling around with the bands if you can be safe because you're kind of
No.
putting some resistance too.
Well, I wouldn't walk around with the band, but I
Yeah,
would walk around. I would walk around with your vest on.
with the vest.
As
Yeah.
long as you get the approval for it, okay? Because I had to have approval for it. All right, now you can see better. So now what we want to do is strengthen the shin muscles, all right? The shin muscles in the front. This is considered the leg from the knee down, right? So you have the tibia, and it goes medially, and then you have the fibula. These are the bones, and it goes laterally. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit to the side a little so you can see. We don't want to bring the feet so far back where you can't do the exercise. And out here, it's like nothing. All right? So what we're going to do is something pretty simple, is I'm lifting the balls of the feet and I'm tapping. I'm not counting, Amy. What I do here is I go to, trust me, you're going to feel a lactic acid burn buildup. And that's when your body goes, I don't want to do this anymore. And pretty much you won't be able to after enough of lactic acid accumulation. And that's a normal byproduct of working the muscles. Some people hear the word acid and freak out. Don't freak out. It's absolutely normal. But this is why you want to drink water during your exercise program. Now, as sometimes people get tired and they start rocking the rest of their body, and that's it on that. All right.
See, that's something people say, I don't have time to exercise, or I'm always at my computer, or they're watching TV. They could just do that during a commercial or something and see if they could even last one commercial doing that, right?
But let me tell you about that exercise. It helps strengthen the knees, it strengthens the ankles, and it's excellent for your balance because it strengthens those two areas simultaneously. Okay, so now what I want to do is put the chair away. Bear with me a moment.
Oh, Gina wants to know, do you need the loop to do this exercise?
Do you need the what?
The loop. Gina wanted to know if you needed the loop to do that exercise.
No.
The resistant
No.
band, I guess we should call it.
You mean the wide squat, Gina? No, and you're going to see, let me fix the camera. You're going to see it on the next round after I take the weighted vest, how to do that exercise without the loop, okay? I promise you all. Now, let me just make sure here. There we go. Good. Okay, so the next one is going to be
oh, I'm sorry. Gina said the shin exercise is what she was referring to.
I kept the loop on only because it was easier to execute it with it on if I was going to go into a second set. So that's why I kept it on. I took it off after I was done to stand on up and prepare for the next exercise. So no, you don't need the loop at all. Great question. Sorry if I confused you on that one, right? So now we're going to do something which is what I call a narrow squat. But please, if you have knee issues, don't do this, all right? Just go back to the basic squat or even the wider one, but not with the legs together. So I'm going to come into I'm sitting back into a chair. So here's a tricep kickback. And then when I come up, it's a hammer curl, not a full bicep curl, but a hammer curl. Amy, 25, please. So tricep kickback, hammer curl. As we do this, toes are lifted, and there's the pelvic tuck at the top of the movement. So we're always going to tie in some other body parts, especially if you're in a cast, right? You got to figure it out. And exhale. There we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Where are we at, Amy?
12.
Good. So you see how the legs come closer together. Now, for some women, this is awful hard because we have a Q angle. The Q angle is the basic angle that is from the hip joint down to the knees. And for some women, if that's super wide, this is too hard to bring the knees together.
5 more.
Thank you. My toes are lifted. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. There we go.
And 1 more.
And hold here. Now we're going to work on the calf muscles. All right. So I put my bench up toward the wall, not touching the wall because I need a little distance. So I'm going to step on the bench. And let me just do this. Okay. Amy, can you see the feet?
No, because if you could, yeah, I think I can see your heels, but I can't see your feet because your name badge is blocking the.
Oh, all right. How's that? A little better?
I can just see your heels. So is it possible to be up against the glass door? I know that's not preferable, but then I would be able to see you better.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah,
Oh, you mean like
or in the hallway.
How about in the mirror?
Yeah.
I go to this mirror for you and turn the camera. You'll see it from behind.
Yeah, we can see it from behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
What-
Yeah, that's a good one. Don't do this at home, guys, with a glass mirror.
Yeah, no mirror stuff. Okay.
But Angela's a professional, so she knows.
Yeah, I'm holding on very lightly.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is lift up onto the balls of the feet and then lower the heels down below the step. And exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Excellent for your calf muscles, contributing to your balance. And I'm going to take this to anywhere probably between 10 to 15 repetitions. What you don't want to do, Amy, is come into the wall with your pelvis. You don't want that. And you know who does that a lot? Men. Because they're very, very tight in their feet. How
this
many?
one is going to be 10. This is number 10.
Thank you. Exhale. I think women have the advantage on this exercise because we've messed up our backs with high heels, but our calves love them. And I'm going to go for 1 more.
That's your last one.
Good. And I'm going to step off. I'm just going to leave that unit there. Now, oh my God, this is the true confessions part of the program. I hate this next exercise.
It almost sounds like you're going to do a burpee when you say that.
I hate this thing. And I'll explain to you in a moment why. Okay, so I'm coming all the way to the side, and I'm just going to focus the camera down slightly. All right? Because I want to make sure feet are seen. This is a lateral squat. It's just a must, folks, to some degree. You can do a small part of it. You can make it as grand as you like. But boy, with the vest on, it's an interesting experience. Okay, so I'm going to step out, land into it, pull the hips back, but I'm not bending over. You got the difference? And then close it. Open and close. Open and close. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to take it to about 10, Amy.
Okay.
Exhale.
And this is 7.
Thank you.
3 more.
Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale.
And last one.
Inhale, exhale, close. Other side. Okay, here we go. I'm revving up my mind, baby. Revving up the attention. Here we go. Step out and close. Now this side likes it better. And you'll find that that is not unusual. You okay here, everybody? Are people trying the exercises out there?
This is
I
8,
hope so.
9,
Thank you.
10.
Good. Excellent. Now, when you do that, if you do more than one set, you want to go back to back, back to back, back to back, because that's going to really elevate it. Now, I'm going to step off camera, remove my vest, come back for some floor work. Be right back.
Well, this is great. I hope you guys are all enjoying this. I hope some of you are trying it. Obviously, Angela did it with a weighted vest, and that's that's a big deal. So even just doing it without, and that's why she wanted to show you both ways, because for some of us we maybe have some limitations or we're just starting out, and you need to know that you can still be, oh, look at that. See how she worked up a sweat? That's impressive. And she's plant strong. So for those of you that don't know about a plant-based lifestyle, that's where you get your stamina and your strength. And this is all good. So what have you got in your hand, Angela?
Okay, so now I grabbed exercise loop and Pilates ring, okay? And I'm gonna do a superset. This is more for shaping, okay? It is not compound exercises. So I'm gonna be targeting inner thigh and outer thigh. Technically hip adductors going in toward the midline, hip abductors going toward the out of the midline of the body, outside of the body. So let me just focus this down. And I think because we have my name over there, I think I'm going to turn in this direction to come onto my back. So I'm going to set pieces down on the side. For the moment, I'm going to give myself, a little yoga, a little prayerful version of a squat. Chest is lifted, shoulders are down, belly button is in. And then I'm going to come all the way down. And Amy, you're going to let me know if that name, the little box is in the way or not, okay? Because then I'll flip around the other side. So to come lying down on your back, there's a couple of things that you can do. I do want to caution those of you with hypertension to please put a little thin pillow or like fold up a towel for underneath your head because you want to be slightly elevated. Now, hands behind the thighs, you can roll down onto your back with bent knee, or you can come down one elbow at a time to come down onto your back. Or if you feel pretty strong, then legs straight out. This would be strong abs and strong back muscles. So we bring the arms out, belly button is in. Take your time as you roll down onto your back. Amy, we good?
Yes, I can see your head. I can see your face. So perfect.
Okay, great. Now let's bring those knees up into the chest for your ah moment. And I'm just going to make circles with the knees, opening and closing, right? Some people start kicking their legs. No, I'm not swimming. I just want to open up that back, the hips, and those adductor muscles by making the circles. All right, now still continuing with some strength training where we're using accessories. So I take the Pilates ring, place it in between the fleshy part of the inner thighs, and I mean, it's the whole area, so I can put it anywhere I want. And so now I'm going to work the adductor muscles and exhale, squeeze 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, slow to open. Exhale 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, slow to open. So you can do anywhere from about 8 to 15 reps. Exhale 1,000, squeeze 2, 1,000, squeeze 3, 1,000, and open. Exhale 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, open. Exhale 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Inhale, open. Exhale 1,000, 2, 1,000, and really squeeze this thing. 3, 1,000. Open. Don't worry, it's not going to break. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Inhale, exhale 1,000. Woo, woo, woo. 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and gently release it. If you want to, while you're getting your loop, You can sneak in a little bit of a goddess pose, or also known as Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining cobblers. We draw the knees together, back up into the chest. Loop is going to go around the ankles. Now the hip abductor muscles. You're going to dorsiflex flex the feet toward the face. And now open 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Small release. You want to keep that loop taut. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Small release. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Inhale in. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Inhale in. You don't want to let the legs wander away from you, Amy. Very bad for the back. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Small release. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Small release. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. I got one more. That's it. Exhale, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and bring it on in. Careful when you take off your loop.
Is this something that if somebody wasn't able to get up and down from the floor, that they could maybe do it when they were laying in bed?
Absolutely. Anything that you do on the floor can basically be done on the bed. All right. Now I'm not going to set anything up, I should say. I'm going to come standing up. Oh, I did want to just demonstrate this for a second. So when you come to stand up, you bring one foot out in front, you tuck your back toes under, hands on your thigh to get on up, all right? So now we're going to do the whole thing again, but we're going to pull the repetitions down. We're going to pull them back down at 8 to 15 reps. We're not using anything, all right? And there will be just a couple of different exercises for the inner and outer thighs at the end because we don't have the toys. All right, you ready? So if you want to do it with me, now's the time because we don't have stuff. It's just us, kids. Amy, is this pretty good for you?
Excellent.
All right, here we go. Amy, just start counting anywhere from 8 to 15. If I tell you that's enough, I'll stop, all right?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So I'm lifting the toes, Amy, to make sure that the quads and glutes do their work. And so we spare the kneecap with your toes lifted inside the shoes because it drives.
The next one is 8.
Thank you. It drives the exercise back into the heels. You see that pop at the top? One more. Now I'm going to turn around and here's those deadlifts again. And I will turn again for you. So I'm going to demonstrate the deadlifts as if somebody has very small movement. And let's do it to this side. That's what I just decided. All right. So, this is what I will typically do, right? And other people will really bend, go down and forward. That's okay, provided the knees are bent. So let's say some back issues, but you've been cleared to do a little bit of a deadlift. So this can be your range of motion. And no kidding, all of this is still going to work. You understand?
Yeah.
And the toes are up. So don't worry about it if the hands don't go below the knees. This is a deadlift. This is a squat. A deadlift is a hinge from the hip. A hinge from the hip. Let's go for just 2 more, Amy.
That's 9.
Thank you. And 10. All right. So does that make sense so far for people? I hope so. So
Yeah,
now,
I think this is great because you're not using any equipment. And I think that if people really got up and tried to do this, they would feel the effects of it and it wouldn't be, probably wouldn't be worrying too much about injury unless they had certain issues that they had to talk to about with their doctor. But this is wonderful. Keep going.
And the other thing that I just want to quick throw in there is sometimes you can do like with your hand on a chair. If you feel a little wobbly, like on this next one, you might feel a little wobbly. So you can do it like next to a wall. You can hold on, preferably alongside you, all right? So I'm gonna show you the split squat again. Let me turn this way this time. Shoot that. Am I on the mat yet? Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right, so I'm gonna bend the back knee. Now I'm touching the floor and I'm pushing back up. When I was up on the step, I did not touch the floor, no way, no how for me. And if you cannot touch the floor, don't, because I'm not positive I'm gonna stay touching the floor. How about that? So I'm not gonna touch the floor now. So all is about firing up the gluteal muscle. And exhale, belly button in, exhale up, inhale down. Make sense? So you want to think your back is sliding down the back wall behind you, not lunging forward. No problem. One more. Not lunging forward, sliding up and down. And then I'm going to close it. My tush is so talking to me right now.
Yep. We thought we were doing lower body, but we're getting a butt lift too.
That's right. Now, can see okay, Amy?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Down and push out to come up. Down and push out. And exhale out. Inhale to lower. Exhale out. Inhale to lower. Now I'm going to stop touching the floor, I think. Yeah. This is an inhale. Remember, sliding up and down a wall rather than lunging forward and back.
9.
Have a hand on a chair if you need.
One more is 10.
Okay. And then I'm going to close forward. So again, when you do the split squats, back and forth, you want to challenge yourself. You want to challenge the breathing, challenge the cardiovascular system, the musculoskeletal systems. Okay, now I want to do the wide squat, and I'm going to do the seated toe taps where I will bring out the chair. So let's set that up now.
Deborah Barr said she makes it look so easy.
Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. I don't know the shirt, and if you're gonna look at me right now.
It doesn't, but it doesn't start out as easy. You start slow and you work your way up. And
That's right.
if you're not perspiring, then you need to take it up a notch.
Yeah, exactly. This is the detoxifying process of all of this, right?
Yes.
It's so important. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the legs out. This time, no exercise loop, all right? So I'm going to sit back and exhale up. Now, why don't I bring my arms all the way here? 1 second. Here we go. Why don't I go all the way in? Because I don't want to bounce off myself, and also because I want to, hold on a second. There we go. There it is. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because if you go all the way up against your torso, then what's going to happen is that you're focusing on the subscapularis. The subscapularis is a rotator cuff muscle that tends to be very injured on people. By not going all the way in, then you are focusing on the medial head of that deltoid muscle. All right.
One more is 15. Yeah.
Okay, well, we stop there.
Okay. And there is a challenge for you because you have this cast on that weighs almost a pound, and you're trying to keep your body symmetrical, and it's a challenge, but you're doing great.
Thank you. I really learned that this thing does very much throw off one's balance. There's no question. It throws off the balance. That's why when I'm looking in the image here on the screen, sometimes I'm a little confused because I'm like, oh, which way is the weight going, right? So that's my challenge right now. What are you going to do? All right, so now we want to do those seated toe taps. Remember, we don't want the feet all the way back, and we don't want them all the way out in front. Somewhere in the middle, and here we go. And I just tell people, just kind of pick up a song in your head and just tap to the music. But the idea, it's not just trying to lift the toes, it's lifting the balls of the feet as well. And that's where like you get so much of the shin muscles involved, the tibialis, anterior. It's just like screaming. But that's okay, gotta be done. It's an oft neglected area. There we go. So I don't count those, I just go to that sensation of lactic acid accumulation. All right, I'm gonna put the chair away. We're gonna go to my favorite ones, Amy, those lateral squats. Lucky us.
Yeah, you get to do the 2 reps, so.
Lucky me.
But now I see why you started with the weighted vest.
Oh, I knew I would be a mess. I just knew it. So I was like, hey, let's start first because forget it. Okay. So taking it over to the side and out. And let me tell you something. This is a whole nother exercise without that weighted vest. Inhale, exhale, all the way closed. So outer thigh, inner thigh of the outside leg. Quad, glute of the standing fulcrum. 2 more, Amy.
Okay, that's 8.
Take it to 10.
And 9, and 1 more.
All right?
Beautiful.
The other side. All right. And so I exhale on the closing, drawing the adductor muscles in.
4 more.
Get that weight back into that hip. Pull it back into the
2
hip.
more. 1
Otherwise,
more.
the quad is going to take over. 1 more.
Last one. There you go. Beautiful.
All right, and then back to back, back to back. If you were going to do some different, a number of sets in a sequence. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor. No Pilates ring, no loop.
Right. And again, if you can't make it down to the floor or get back up again, if you did, you could always do this in bed, right?
Absolutely, that's right. Okay, I was going to say you don't even attempt to come to the floor. If you can't come down, you can do it in your bed for sure. All right, now I'm going to come down, lying on my side. This is just old-fashioned exercise that still holds up. I want to make sure that my head is in the same line, my neck, my cervical spine is in the same line as the rest of the spine. A lot of times people are like this. No, no, no. We want to have the knees bent, 90-degree angle. And I'm going to do like a clamshell. Now I want you to see something, Amy. Watch my lifting knee. You see how the knee is slightly higher than the ankle?
Yeah.
Right? Because what happens is I turn the leg into dead weight. So now I'm not going so that the hip drops back. That's going to take you off of the muscles. But if you do this with your knee higher than the ankle, oh my goodness gracious,
9.
you're able to do much of this. Hand is down in front, 2 more. You want to make sure that you're not dropping back, just slightly leaning into the hand on the floor. Now to come out of it, I cross over just to let that hip release, okay? Now stay there, bend the knee, good old-fashioned inner thigh exercise. Let me tell you something. If you were to do this lying on your side on like a workout bench from the gym and you let the leg drop down lower than the bench itself and then take it up, oh, that becomes a whole different ballgame. And I do have one of those benches. Another time we should do something, Amy, showing you on a bench. And it's a home bench. It's fantastic. I bought it at the beginning of the pandemic. All this working the adductor.
9.
And we're going to go 1 more. Exhale. Same concept. Weight here toward the hand. No dropping back and lower down. And then
I was doing these this morning, the 2 that you just did. They were part of the workout that I did this morning. And boy, they are very effective.
Oh my God.
Very
now,
effective.
if you're more advanced, you can tie on a lighter ankle weight to do it as well. Yeah, you can add resistance that way if you want. So now I'm going to lie down, arm out, cervical spine in the same line as the rest. All right, 90-degree angle bend, hand here, lead with the knee. Lead with the knee. Don't think I got to go super high, because guess what? That's nothing. That has no resistance. This, oof, I got my whole leg and thigh that are resisting. And exhale, supporting with that front hand. I notice I'm not touching down all the way.
Oh, that's harder. Yeah.
No kidding, baby.
3 more.
If you have to touch, you touch, right? But I'm just showing ways on how to make this stuff more challenging.
Last one.
Muchas gracias. Down, and then I'm just going to cross over. Now with the good hand, soft fist, I'm going to pound that glute. I'm not punching the crap out of myself. I'm just using a percussive movement in massage therapy called tapotement, and it'll actually help you release the lactic acid after the exercise. Okay, now bend the knee, bottom leg straight, take it up and down. Exhale, up and down. Make sure it's stabilizing with that front hand. Head is up and back. Now, for those of you hypertensive, you can put the pillow between your arm and your ear. Got it? When you're on your side. We don't want lots of blood rushing to the head to exercise.
3 more.
Hypertensive. If you're on that bench, that workout bench at the gym, let that leg go all the way down, and then and let's try one more. Exhale, inhale, and I'm going to come up from here, and that's it. That's what we have prepared for you. Does anybody have any questions? I want to take a little squat.
Yes, I actually think that we had, well, let's see.
Oh, Amy, I have another little thing if you wanted. I can demonstrate. I can demonstrate a couple of basic stretches you could do after your session.
Well, that's always good. And you don't have to touch the floor, but you can stretch.
That's right. That's right. So let's show a couple of things that you can do. All right. Because I always prefer that we leave people stretched rather than bound up together. So I'm going to go back to the spot at the wall. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go back over here. You said you could see better, right? When I'm at the mirror?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we wanted to see your feet.
Yeah, I want you to see the feet, okay? So
I'm encouraging everybody, if you haven't done anything and you've just been watching, stand up and do the stretch.
Yeah, avoid your mirror. I'm just doing this so you can see the feet. You want to avoid your mirror, okay? So my fingers are lightly holding on to the mirror. I step back on one leg. The front knee is bent, so the pressure is into the heel. A lot of people, when they do a calf stretch, they make a mistake and go into, no, stay up with the torso. The back heel is down, front knee is bent. Belly button is in, hips squared off, facing the object you're holding on to. You can hold on to a chair if you want. And then I'm going to step forward and step back on the other leg. Oh my God, this calf is talking to me, Amy. Belly button is in. I try not to use these fingers too much. That's why technically I would prefer people to hold on with both hands. Now, when you do a calf stretch, you want to slightly turn that back heel out to the side. We don't want like this where the heel is turned medially. We want to do slight laterally to the outside. And then step forward. Now, I'm going to come over here and show you the quadricep stretch.
That was good instruction for the form. It's so important to do it correctly. Yeah.
Good, good. Okay, so it's this side, right? Okay, so I'm going to just gently grab out. All I'm holding is, don't worry, folks, I'm good. I'm just holding with my toes. You want to actually technically grab your ankle, pelvic tuck, knee next to knee. And that's your quadricep stretch. My thumb is not involved at all because, it's in prison right now. And we take it down. And then to the other side, I'm going to lightly hold my door here, okay? Because it's a French door and it slides. But here's where you can see you're grabbing the ankle, pelvic tuck, knee next to knee, stretching that quadricep muscle. And then I think the next two, Amy, I'll show you on the floor, okay? And this could be done on the bed. So I'm just grabbing, sneaking in my little squat here. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right, so first off, I'm going to bring my legs up and I'm going to straddle split the legs. Pushing out through the heels, stretching the inner thighs, pressing the lower back down. And then draw the knees together. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall open. That's another way of doing the inner thighs and hips, okay, just to release all of that. I'm going to draw the knees together. You want to hold your stretches technically, please, no less than 10 seconds, but really try to shoot 20 to 30 seconds. Now, this is great if you're a runner. This is good. So you're going to bring knee over knee into the chest. I've got right knee over left knee or left over right, doesn't matter. You take a hold of your ankles. You're pulling the ankles away from each other and you're dorsiflexing the feet. So I have my right on top. You might be seeing it as your left. And a big stretch in the right glute. And then if I were to keep the head turned and then slightly tip, woo-hoo-hoo, lateral rotators in that gluteal muscle. Oh my goodness, they're talking. And then back to center. So what is this actually? Well, it's really Supta Gomukhasana, reclining cow face pose from yoga. It's just knee over knee into the chest. My left glute is really talking to me right now. Feet dorsiflexed, turn the head, and slight tip over. I'm not dropping all the way. I'm not making this a big twist because it doesn't need it. And then back to center, uncross. I'm going to roll to the side, and I'll give you one more. Another way you can get to the inner thighs is with the legs wide apart, pushing out, pressing down and out, belly button is in. You can walk your fingertips out in front. Notice the chest doesn't collapse, right? The head is up. You can do it on the elbows. You can have blocks underneath your hands to keep you upright. Pushing out, and then eventually you can take it all the way down. And then slowly take it back up. So I just want to show you a few stretches. Typically I hold them much longer, but I just wanted to give you at least an idea of how to stretch out a bit after you do your training. So were there any questions, Amy?
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't get to do everything because I was also piloting this plane.
I know.
I'm going to be watching it on the replay, and I encourage people to go back to my YouTube channel, Be Green with Amy, or on Facebook, Be Green with Amy, and you can find this video and you can play it as many times as you want and follow along as many times as you like.